Hey Wizard fans! Today's video is just going to be a short one because I am currently traveling. I hope you are all having a good long weekend. In this video, I'm going to cover some non-crowned options for healing gear. I see people ask pretty often if there are farmable or craftable alternatives to jade gear. There are tons of guides for people who are willing to spend money on gear, but there doesn't seem to be any guides for people who would rather farm and craft. So I thought I would make this guide to non-crowns healing gear. Before we go into the guide, I just want to say that healing gear is not necessary in this game. Most of the time, it's a lot simpler to just kill before you're killed. You can check out my speed dungeon videos to see what I'm talking about. When I'm playing my life wizard, I mostly just help my team to set up for the kill. If we find ourselves in a situation where we're dying, we usually prefer to just flee and make a new plan. I only heal on very rare occasions when it helps us to complete a plan. Our successful runs are very quick and don't involve much healing. Now with that being said, if you do want to just casually help people who might need a little bit more time to get their cards together, it can be helpful to have a set of healing gear. So here are the non-crowned gear pieces I know of that are the most similar to jade gear. This hat, Immortal Champion's Helm, is dropped from the Zeus Exalted Jewel. You can see how it compares to the jade hat. It has less resist but a little bit more health and critical. If you hang out in Morgan's Chamber or Mirror Lake, you will receive a lot of Exalted Jewels as drops, and you'll also meet people who have Exalted Jewels. The Immortal Champion's Helm is the universal hat. There's also a school-specific version that gives 1% less universal resist and 3% more school-specific resist. This robe, Krakopetra Royal Cloak, is dropped from the Krakopetra Exalted Jewel. You can see how it compares to the bundle robe. Like the Immortal Helm, there is a universal version and a school-specific version. If you are a life wizard above level 120, you can also consider crafting the Lofty Alfoy Surcoat. The recipe is sold by Loligo here in Ariel Shore. You would basically give up 5% resist in exchange for more health, block, and outgoing heal. The Rat Robe is also worth mentioning just because it has so much outgoing heal. I personally haven't found it that useful because the resist is kinda low and it doesn't give any pip chance, but it is an option. These boots come from the Rattlebones Exalted Jewel. I have the school-specific ones here. The universal ones are called Bone Smasher Rattle Shoes and give 1% more universal resist. And you can see how they compare to the jade boots. It's not a huge difference. For the wand, if you want outgoing, you can use the Sword of Kings, which is a guaranteed drop from the Keep of Ganelon in Avalon. You can also consider crafting the Root of Spring. The recipe is sold by this vendor in Sardonyx. The stats are worse, but the Maycast is amazing. All you need to do is spend 1 power pip on the guiding light that the wand gives, and you trigger the Maycast Rebirth. Super fun to use. Finally, a third option is the Lucky Rogue's Baton from the Miaoyarti Exalted Jewel. This one is my personal favorite to equip just because I don't actually heal that much, so I like having the extra little bit of accuracy and block. But if you're going to be healing a lot, definitely consider the Sword of Kings or Root of Spring. For the Athame, I would recommend either the Cosmic Kriss or the Dark Woman's Dagger. The Cosmic Kriss is crafted. You can buy the recipe from Aegeus in Crustacean Empire Celestia. The Dark Woman's Dagger is dropped by Morgane. For the Amulet, if you want resist and block, go for Rasputin's Charm of Exertion, dropped by the Rat in Horizon Hold. Another really good amulet you could consider is Lufilim's Eternal Chain. This one is dropped by Omen Strybog, and you can check out my speedrun video for him. This is basically a balance mastery amulet, so you can reshuffle people for 2 power pips. You also get a blade card and 3% universal resist. Finally, for a more aggressive blade stacking style of play, you can consider the Last Wood Defender's Jewel. This is dropped by lots of different bosses in Chrysalis. It gives you a unique elemental blade and sharpened blade that will stack with trained versions of these spells. If you don't have this amulet, you can buy Jewel of the Apiary from the bazaar, which gives a balance blade. For the ring, you can go with Stone of the Other Side from Avalon, Storm Cayman's Tailbiter ring from Azteca, which is what I have here, or Ring of the Dying Star from Chrysalis. They are all pretty similar in stats. The good old crafted Stellar Signet is also an option, and you might also consider the crafted rings with school-specific resist. In terms of the pet, any pet with resist and outgoing heal would be a good addition to this set. This is the pet that I personally use. I actually made it before outgoing heal was a talent, so I just socketed it after the update. And last but not least, here is a sample deck setup. Shadow Seraph is really good for pip management because every time you heal, even if it's just a minor blessing or a fairy, you get a free absorb shield for your entire team. You also get higher outgoing during the rounds of your transformation. And then in addition to these heal cards, I also have Renew, which is an aura that further increases the outgoing, and I have a bunch of utility cards, dispels, blades, etc. Finally, I keep these emergency cards in my treasure deck so I can pull them more easily. So after putting on all of my chosen gear, here's what the final stats look like. 64% resist, 7% accuracy, tiny bit of critical, tiny bit of block, 81% outgoing, which really isn't shabby, and maximum power pip chance, and a little bit of pip conversion. I hope this guide to non-crowns healing gear helps other wizards out there who are playing on a budget. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.